Station Norfolk's Youth Sports and Fitness Department in Virginia has been engaging participants in a variety of innovative ways that stretch beyond traditional programming. And the young athletes have been reaping the benefits, especially from a unique mentoring program that has been a huge hit. Introduced in 2019 by the Norfolk Recreation staff, the program features sailors with athletic backgrounds connecting with youth teams throughout the season to provide one-on-one instruction, motivation, and lots of fun-filled experiences along the way. Since the program's inception, its impact has been far-reaching and long-lasting. For starters, the players' skills are improving dramatically, courtesy of the individualized coaching. The kids have been inspired to keep working hard throughout their seasons to continue raising their level of play, and friendly games that have been contested between the sailors and the young athletes have produced countless memorable moments for all involved. The sailors love having the opportunity to work with, coach, and mentor the young players while passing along their knowledge of sports that have been a big part of their lives. And the recreation staff has thoroughly enjoyed seeing the kids energized by these additional skill-developing opportunities, which has added another layer of fun and excitement to the season while building that all-important foundation for leading a lifetime of healthy physical activity. Congratulations to the Norfolk Naval Station, a 2020 Excellence in Youth Sports Award winner.
And with us today from Naval Station Norfolk in Virginia is Mr. Anand Little and Jacob Ayers, both CYSAs, who are going to talk a little bit about their program. Thank you guys for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having us today. Thank you.
And congratulations. So one of the things really interesting about your application and the reason it is so exciting for you all to receive the Excellence in Youth Sports Award in 2020 is that I think everybody that's watching this has the same struggles, finding more volunteers and getting teens involved and keeping them engaged. So if you could tell us a little bit about what you've done and how you've done it, that would be awesome.
Yep. So our program has, we have our few established coaches who have been with us for a wide variety of years for different reasons. Their children have gone throughout the program, and they've made a ton of friends along the way. So the nature of our program is for the kids to have as many positive experiences in the best social setting possible and kind of reap the benefits from their peers and the adults. And so when it comes to attracting volunteers to the program, being on a military base, we kind of benefit from that. We do have a lot of previous athletes that are in the military, so it's kind of already established community that we already have. And also, we also use a officials association who happens to be military based as well. So with our installation, the word of mouth kind of spreads very fast. We have those officials that officiate youth and adult sports. So what tends to happen is we'll have a official who's, let's say, refereeing soccer, sees the program, asks questions about what's going on. Then in return, we'll go and referee an adult game the following week. And then the adult will say, hey, how do I get into officiating? Or I want to get my kids involved in this. How do I go from there? So they've been very good to us in regards to speaking to our program, and kind of vice versa. If we have parents that are interested in being officials, we then just kind of reference them to one of the officials to see how they get started on that track and that process. So we do have a lot of sailors also that need volunteer hours, whether that's to make rank or for whatever specifics that they have for their job. So kind of combining the two, you have the athletes, and then you also have those sailors that just want the volunteer hours or want to be involved. So we kind of, I want to say, piggyback off of that. We make sure that it's a fun, creative environment for the sailors as well as the kids, make sure that they kind of maximize their time while they are with us. One common theme is often people find out about our program after a season starts and want to get involved. And since we don't use volunteer officials and we like to have all volunteers positions filled before the season begins, we kind of created an opportunity for those people to help out in a different way. What we found is a lot of people would like to help out, but cannot necessarily make that season-long commitment to the voluntary and volunteer coach. So we created a time frame, basically once or twice a season, where those individuals, whether that's from a specific command or just a group of sailors, want to come in and they can help and volunteer. So we thought, well, these sailors are typically younger adults, so it makes a little bit more sense to pair them with teenagers because they're so close in age. So we coordinate with our coaches, make sure that this specific time frame works for them, and make sure that whatever the volunteers are going to be doing kind of sorts their practice, and we tailor every session towards that.
So in regards to teen participation, giving them opportunities for fun, development, and a chance to be competitive at the right level is key. Throughout the season, we organize many parent versus kid practices or games. We also get some of our adult athletic teams involved and partner with outside organizations for youth of their same age. We found that what we found is teenagers will talk about their experience with our program, with their peers, a lot in school, and the parents will talk about it to other parents that they know. In a sense, what we're doing is providing an opportunity for the teenager to have an everlasting memory, something they can reflect on that is relative to their day-to-day life. Kids love to talk, especially about something they find cool or interesting. What we found is that teenagers strive from having a challenge, whether they are challenging to be an adult so they can brag about it, or having a tangible result. Whether it is participating in a tournament or self-improvement, this gets a lot of other teens interested and retains them throughout the years.
Okay, and now what we'd like to know is, since you're keeping these teens active and engaged in your program, what else do you do? Because I know that once we get to about mid-season, some of them start to sort of, their motivation starts to wane a little bit. So are you doing anything specifically to keep them engaged throughout the season?
Yep. So when we partner with these sailors, like I said before, they're typically ranging between 20 and 30 years old. So it's easy for those sailors to relate to those teenagers and vice versa. And just knowing the human mind, information is received different when you get one-on-one instruction from somebody versus it being in a group setting. You have that social anxiety or that social pressure to meet whatever expectation that is. And then in regards to the parent involvement and the involvement for the adults, we want to make sure that we kind of push the teenagers at the mid-season point. Typically what we find is they've learned all that they're going to retain in a sense because they are teenagers. So we want to make sure that they get pushed and challenged at a time where the participation kind of slacks off a little bit. You start seeing kids not attend practices often. So we want to make sure that we put them in a place to succeed. We want to put them in a place where they have that adult interaction to kind of keep them coming back. So for example, for our basketball season, for our teenagers, what we usually do once or twice a week, once we get to that mid-season point, myself, Mr. Jake, we'll also have different parents, different staff members that we have here play scrimmages with those teenagers. Kind of gives them the opportunity to kind of show up an adult, even though they typically don't, but they still try. But that trying attitude is what makes them come back and what makes them want to do better the next practice. So whether we are just there for them to have fun and build that motivation, it's also an opportunity to establish a connection with that teenager. And a lot of teenagers, they of course feel the social pressure of everybody around them, and they want to have somebody to talk to. So if we're already in that setting with them, they're more comfortable to talk with us about whatever's going on with their life or just about the sport in general. But with that established connection, we give them more one-on-one instructions periodically throughout the season.
So the other benefit of these having more help at these practices gives us more one-on-one engagements. So it's not just one or two coaches talking to a team of 12 kids. It's a lot more. You have a lot more one-to-one, like we were saying earlier. Gives kids a chance to develop their skills a little bit more. So you have a lot more instant feedback. Sometimes a coach can't always see everybody's rep. So somebody might go through a drill and the coach was looking at another kid trying to help correct that. So this gives a lot more one-on-one help to kids with skills. And then helps a lot of our volunteers end up being role models for the kids too. So just that engagement, getting able to talk to somebody. We mentioned earlier, a lot of our volunteers are maybe former athletes from high school or college or something like that. So they played the skill already at a higher level. So that's something for the kids to kind of look up to and kind of emulate some of their attitudes and stuff. And then it pushes them and have the kids push themselves at a time when secure social connections have been more important in youth development. So there's a lot of pressures, a lot of social pressures, and so this is a way to help them kind of work through some of that stress, some of that other angst that they're going through, maybe in school or at home and stuff. So this gives them another outlet.
Yeah, and what's great about it is with a sense of community, it's not just the kids establishing that relationship with their coach or their assistant coach. When they see a sailor, say Sailor John, come in, oh, he's coming in every Wednesday, so I can count on Sailor John to be there. Well, Sailor John just made a connection with that teenager. And then just by nature, then Sailor John is communicating with the parents. So it's kind of a full circle thing. We're just trying to create a good, stable community and give the kids a positive role model at the end of the day.
That's great stuff. So, Anand, I know you've been a youth sport and fitness director for the Navy for about a decade and have been a CYSA. Both of you are CYSAs for a while now. Your organization has earned the Better Sports for Kids Quality Sports Provider designation. You're now a 2020 Excellence in Youth Sports Award winner. Just tell the audience a little bit about how this initiative has been received at your local installation, as well as what the award and winning Excellence in 2020 means to both of you.
Yep. So in regards to our installation, I think everybody is very happy and very pleased to kind of know that we're staying on the right track here. For me, you kind of get into the day-to-day rituals or the month-to-month or year-by-year rituals, or just kind of doing what you're doing. You kind of get stagnant. So knowing that we're actually making a difference and able to have an impact, at the end of the day, that's what it means for me. Having this award is just a good benchmark to know that you're on the right track. Like I said, we do get caught up in the rigmarole of everyday life or every month life or every season life when it comes to sports. So we're thankful. We're very thankful and honored to have this award. Our leadership has said nothing but great things about it. And the parents that know about it right now, especially during COVID times, not many do, but the ones that do, they're thrilled. A lot of them have been on the journey with us since the beginning, whether those are volunteer coaches or parents. So everybody is genuinely happy for the program.
I think the biggest thing is you see the kids, as we mentioned, they just get that spark in mid-season, mid to late season, just always having something new kind of at practice. A lot of times we get into the middle of the season and we mentioned earlier the kind of motivation either goes away or the kids kind of get in a rut. So just I think a lot of the kids are just excited to have fresh faces or something extra to look forward to at practice. Games are always exciting to the kids, but the kids are always excited to see, somebody new or maybe Sailor John's coming back to work with me. That's really fun. So I know that a lot of kids have been really excited, and then most of the sailors that I've talked to or directly interacted with, have always been looking just for a way to give back. So that any sort of initiative, anything that they can do, any programs they can get involved with, they've been looking for it. It's just that isn't that much out there for them, and so they're really excited that we have a program like this.
Thank you both so much for being with us. Congratulations again for being a 2020 Excellence in Youth Sports Award winner, and we really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.